All right, well, I'm a little excited and a little nervous, but we are going to kick this off. This is the behind the scenes, so to speak, of The Last of Us Part 2 Flaw in Our Reviews. Now, I will be playing the cinematics in full, and I will be breaking these down by chapters, and I will also not talk over the cinematics just to keep it as a cleaner experience. Plus, I will be partially using these videos not only to upload on my Ronnie Hayes channel, but also to rewatch and reconfirm some of the flaw and awe points that I'll be adding for my main channel when I start uploading these for that specific series. For anyone new here, it's a series that breaks down what works and what doesn't, and obviously it's not going to be perfect. I'm going to, or I've been thinking about tailoring it more towards, it's a big, my personal opinion, but I'm also pulling from thoughts and opinions from you all. So as we all, you and me both test this series, I'm going to go ahead and jump into part one of The Last of Us, the behind the scenes. You guys, because I'm going to be, as I'm uploading these, I'm going to be making the flaw in all reviews. So it's going to give you guys time to comment, what you loved and what you didn't. Keep it about this specific part. And then we're going to break it down by the chapters, and then I can go through and maybe pull some ideas from you guys. All right. Obviously, I don't want to do a long introduction, so let's play this, and I'll see you back after after the cinematic.
I don't know what happened. I was supposed to take her to the Fireflies and walk away. You go halfway across the country with someone. She needed her immunity to mean something. Maybe I was starting to buy into that old cure business. Maybe I just wanted to do right by her. And then we made it. We found the Firefly. Because of her, they were actually going to make a cure. The only catch, it would kill her. Sweet Jesus.
Doctor?
What are you doing? I won't let you take her. This is our future. Think of all the lives we'll save.
Jesus Christ, Joe. What do you do?
I saved her. Come on, baby girl. I got you. I got you.
Cover the exit. Don't let him get away.
God damn. That's that's a lot. What does Ellie know?
I told her they just ran some tests. I told her her immunity meant nothing.
And she believed you?
I didn't say otherwise.
We should head back.
Now, from the start, obviously, the voice acting, man, the voice acting all throughout, even with my personal complaints, there's a lot that was done right. And even this opener, gorgeous. And a great idea to start with Joel, not just for the fans that really love Joel. I personally, for me, he's one of my all-time favorite video game characters. And even emotionally, maybe, I was thinking about this a lot recently. It may have meant something, because I was, a different person when, before I had my daughter. And she was about 3 or 4 when this game came out. And in a weird way, it's kind of similar, having a really different past. And then a child in your life changing that, and as cliche as it is, save us. But also how this connects with part 1. I love this scenery. Part of the playthrough here, for those who don't know, in order to rate this, part of it has to do with understanding the level layout a little more in depth than just simply being cinematic and following Tommy and entering Jackson. But anyway, so I do have to explore and kind of get some of the scenery, get a feel for the level design. Like this level design right off the bat, right off the rip, it's not ridiculously wastefully big, but it also has a little bit of space to make it feel, to give it this big world feel to it, as a game player. Like, look at this. All you need is a little bit of space, and some players may never even go near any of this extra. But it's just the idea that it's there. If you had tree line from here to here and you couldn't get, it just has a more constricting feel to it. Because a game player, you can open up more. And again, you don't have to do that in order to get the feel. You just have to know that there's this whole open playable field, which is a really nice touch. Back to Joel being the character you start with. And obviously, you're going to want to beat the game before you watch these, because we will be discussing the end, like how the beginning started with the moth on the guitar and the game ends with the moth on the guitar. Anyhow, so in part 1 you play as Sarah, and she gives Joel the gift of the watch. And in part 2 and then she dies. And then in part 2 you play as Joel. She gives Ellie the gift of the guitar, and you know the rest. Look at that broken road, these cars. This is a beautiful little area here. Look at that. What's that sign say? Jackson. The horse looks incredible as well. I don't know why I took a picture, I just wanted to. And more car. Got a gas station. You know what? I thought this was the end, but there is a little bit more here. Some deer. Now, it is, in my opinion, it is a flaw. And I know they were going for the artsy feel for it, and I say that in a negative way because I do feel like part of the criticism I have for The Last of Us Part 2 is they did focus too heavily on that artsy feel, and they kind of forgot one of the biggest things that I think would give a lot of the fans that made what you do even more so possible by embracing the characters that you created in part 1. In my opinion, you turned your back on them and you forgot you were making a game, or you straight ignored or didn't care that you were making a video game. And my point is to not have another portion, and it could be done in a flashback where you play as Joel for one last time. And I mentioned this before in a video where he can even be something simple, out on a run looking for Ellie, relate it emotionally with the story in some way, because I do feel even at the end of part 2, I do feel like the beats they have with Joel and Ellie are incomplete. Even as a story, it was just kind of like, oh, that's it. Anyway, to have Joel looking for Ellie in a flashback, and then you know how he saves her for the bloater scene, which I thought was incredible in this game, probably one of the highlights of part 2. If you want to, I guess you can just ride everywhere with Joel. Just be a rebel, don't even get into the game, just do this. But one thing that I think the game sorely missed is having that moment where you do one last as a player, hoorah, as Joel. Now, given there's going to be a ton of people who are going to say, just shut up and play part 1. I got you, bro. You're edgy, you know? But if you're looking for an in-depth explanation for some true fans without being hate or trolly telling you why the game just didn't work, we're about to get into them.
It's okay. I got him. You go on.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
About what we were talking about earlier. I can't say I'd have done different. I'll take it to the grave if I have to.
I'll see you later, Doc.
This is a little bit after part 1, actually, timeline-wise. There's confirmation about that in I believe it's the art book I read, but for those curious, this is only a few weeks or maybe a month or so after they got there in part 1. Nice little Easter egg. She's listening to the song that was in the first teaser trailer.
Ellie?
Jesus. Almost gave me a heart attack.
I tried knocking, but
Hey,
hey,
what's up, Joel?
just checking in. Folks are, talking about how impressed they are with you and how well you're helping out.
It's good.
Yeah. Tommy and I went out riding the other day, and he told me a joke, and I thought about you. It's, oh, shoot, no, I forgot it. Something about a clock. How do you...
Joel, it's pretty late and I gotta get up in a few hours.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get out of your hair. Just, I want to show you something. Just give me 1 second.
The scenes between these two in this game is probably a highlight. I mean, the absolute best.
What's this?
Some folks call this thing here a guitar.
Funny.
You want to hear something?
Okay.
Okay. Promise me that you won't laugh.
I won't laugh. I won't.
I'm trusting you.
Now, these parts are going to be tricky. I might have to annoy some of you by turning the volume down because my videos are getting slammed because of the covers. So I am sorry, but the cover part, we're just gonna have to... I'm sorry, you know, I just want to play it, but I got hit with this, the one where Ellie sings. It's YouTube, man. It's out of my control. Sweet moment here that I love because of how this connects with part one, where when he was injured falling on the rebar, she made that comment, if I get us out of this, you're singing for me. And he was joking at the end saying, you wish, you know. Not only that, but he did promise in the first one to teach her how to play the guitar. So this is, you know, consistency, continuity with part one and part two, plus the emotional connection. It is deeply connected to the core of these characters and their bonding. You know, it's not just about, oh look, they said guitar in part one. Oh look, they said singing in part two. This is a continuation of that bond that grew from part one.
There you go.
Well, that didn't suck.
I'll take what I can get. She's yours.
No. No. I don't know the first thing about
I
this.
promised that I'd teach you how to play.
You did.
So what do you say, tomorrow night? First lesson?
Deal.
Okay. Okay.
Do you remember the joke?
What is the downside to eating a clock? It's time consuming.
That's so dumb.
Yeah. Good night, kiddo.
All right, so we are going to end this here. We are going by their chapters. So leave thoughts and opinions down below. Maybe crank crank that like button a bit, and some final remaining thoughts is the graphics with the voice acting. This isn't something I want to keep harping on, but really well done, especially the chemistry between these two characters and that parental bond. I know it seems like for the fan base, we kind of got this fracture because waiting so long and being excited to have these two now iconic characters on a PS4 with those type of graphics and just the overall upgrade that brings, it makes, for as little as we get, unfortunately, it makes some of these scenes just that more powerful, because again, that is all we get. So this first part, obviously the prologue and some of the other chapters, I would imagine are going to be a little short. I don't know off the top of my head, but I think the farm is probably going to be the shortest. I think that's a chapter all on its own. But it might be longer than I remember, but maybe a whole lot of cutscenes. So definitely let me know if this is something you guys are interested in seeing more. And I'm going to be popping up at least a couple of these to test it out. Remember, we're going by chapter. So stay tuned, because coming up next is Waking Up, I believe is called. Jackson Waking Up chapter. All right. Thoughts and opinions down below. I'm done talking. It's your turn.